Hi, April 15th is our tax due date here in the United States, and many will be getting a refund from either the state and or the federal. Are you getting a refund? What are you going to do with it? Well, I have some suggestions. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kimberly Ivory Graves, your HELP. Welcome to the Living Peace and Order show, where we share tips to a life of love and peace through Jesus Christ. I am so glad you decided to join me. If you would, why don't you hit that like button? Also, share with someone and leave a comment and let me know whether you're enjoying these shows. And if you haven't already, why don't you go over to my YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe? Also, hit that notification button so you won't miss an episode, and leave a comment there as well. Thank you so very much. Well, our scripture of the week is found in Isaiah 26:3, and it reads, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee." I share this scripture, the scripture of the week, because a second segment of the Living Peace and Order show is where we discuss the scripture of the week on Clubhouse every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you mark your calendar and join me this Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Clubhouse. Well, our topic today is, what are you going to do with your tax refund, bonus, or your raise? As I stated, April 15th is fast approaching, and many people kind of wait till the last minute, whether they're getting a refund or not, to file their taxes here in the United States. And if you are getting a refund, what are your plans for it? Think about it. Have you already gotten it? Did you spend it wisely? Well, I want to share some tips with you. I know that oftentimes many people, they go on family vacations, especially spring break. It's when they use their refund. Some go on a shopping spree, some upgrade their vehicle. Well, I have some other tips that I want to share. But before I share them, I wanted to share a story that I read in the Bible, and it just kind of goes along with this topic. And it's the story of Joseph. And Joseph, there's so many dynamics to Joseph's life, but just this segment is where the Pharaoh had a dream, and Joseph interpreted the dream. And basically, what the dream was about was that there were going to be 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And so Pharaoh appointed Joseph governor. And so during that time, during the time of plenty, Joseph stored up so that it would be enough food for the people and the people in the surrounding areas to be able to come and get food. And so I share this story because oftentimes, even in every year there's a season in our finances where we have a little bit more than what we have in certain parts of the year. So around this time, people who get their bonuses, their raises, and even tax refunds is usually around this time of the year, the beginning of March, or February, March, April, that time of the year. And so I just want to give some suggestions on, if you're getting extra money this season, is that you store it up, that you be wise. And so I'm going to give you 7 tips to what you should do with your money, whether it's a tax refund, a bonus, or a raise. The first thing I would recommend is that you start or increase your emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is just that. It's for emergencies. And the recommended amount, it varies. It varies by person, it varies by household, but they do recommend 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So I encourage you, tally up your expenses for the month and see whether you have enough to at least either start your emergency fund or fully fund your emergency fund. But that's the first suggestion. The second suggestion I would like to make is that you save up for a major purchase. Now, you may know that your refrigerator is about to go out, or you're going to need new tires probably in the next 3 months or so. Instead of spending that money, why don't you take that money and put it in a savings account and save it until you need to make that purchase? The third thing I recommend is that you open or fund a Roth IRA. IRA is an individual retirement account. And the good thing about a Roth IRA is that you can start a Roth IRA at any age, long as you have an income. The second thing that is good about a Roth IRA is that the government allows you to put $6,000 a year in your Roth IRA if you're under 50 years old. If you're 50 and older, the government allows you to put $7,000 a year in a Roth IRA. But you don't have to put that much in right away, but at least you can start your Roth IRA or increase the amount that you have in there currently for this year. The fourth suggestion I'd like to make is that you pay off your credit cards. Many people are in credit card debt, and a lot of their monies is going toward that debt. But I encourage you to take the money, extra money that you're getting, and pay off some credit cards. Get rid of them, cut them up, and continue to work on the goal of getting completely out of credit card debt. The fifth suggestion is pay toward your mortgage, the principal of your mortgage. So take that extra money that you're getting and put it toward the principal of your mortgage so that you can pay off your home faster. Now, this is something that Douglas and I did. We paid extra on the principal every opportunity we got, and to the point that we are debt-free now, and we do not have a mortgage or any credit card bills or any debt at all. So this is why I'm sharing this. It is so important that you take charge of your money and manage it wisely. The sixth recommendation is to invest your money. Invest it in the stock market. And I know that might seem a little scary, but why don't you seek out an investor, a qualified investor, someone that can teach you how to invest properly and when and the best time in the market to invest and all of that. But that's how you make your money grow, through investments. The seventh step is to open up a custodial savings account for your grandchild or your child. And this is so literally taking some money and putting it in an account for this child. And I would recommend maybe adding $25 every month or whatever you can afford every month to this until the child reaches a certain age. Then you're able to give them something toward maybe school or something toward a major purchase for them, a car or what have you. But have the mindset of saving and teach your children how to save. Say they get a birthday gift. Instead of spending all their money from their birthday, say people give them money, teach them how to set aside some of it and save it. There's also an opportunity, even with a Roth IRA, for children. If your child is earning money, say your child has a babysitting job or they do chores around the house and they're earning money, you can open up a custodial Roth IRA for your child, and that money can be put into their Roth IRA as well. So I encourage you to talk to someone that can walk you through the steps of even establishing a Roth IRA for yourself and for your children or grandchild. Those are my 7 tips. Let me recap them for you. Number 1, start or increase an emergency fund. Number 2, save for an upcoming major purchase. Number 3, open or fund a Roth IRA. Number 4, pay off your credit cards. Number 5, pay down the principal on your mortgage. Number 6, invest in the market. And number 7, open up a custodial savings account or investment account for your child or grandchild. I have one more suggestion. If you received a raise on your job and your company offers a 401k, retirement fund, or something equivalent, why don't you take that percentage that you received and increase your contribution to your 401k retirement fund? Oftentimes, companies will match what you put in there at a certain percentage amount. So if you have not maxed that percentage amount, take your raise and increase your retirement fund. I know that we're living in some challenging times, and we're looking at gas prices skyrocketing, and even food prices are extremely high right now while doing this recording. And so setting aside money and not just blowing it, not just spending it unwisely, is what we need to be doing. Just like Joseph, when he knew that there were going to be 7 years of plenty, they didn't just eat it and just, waste it or what have you. They put it away so that when those 7 years of famine came, they had a supply. They had enough to not only feed those that were in Egypt, but to feed the neighboring countries as well. So I encourage you to reassess what you plan to do with your raise, your refund, or your bonus. And think about the 7 steps that I just shared and maybe do 1 or 2 of those. Thank you. I'm Kimberly Ivory Graves. This is the Living Peace in Order show. I hope this information was helpful on today. Hit like, hit share, leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And remember, I love you with the love of Jesus. God bless you. See you next time.